It's a busy night for law enforcement in Montgomery County, Ohio.
Broadcast for Jefferson Cruz. Be on the lookout for a reckless driver.
And it's about to get busier, thanks to heroin, casting its dark and deadly cloud over the city. The deputies say smack caused this smash up on the freeway.
The initial report is a car that has struck a guardrail, rolled over approximately 4 times. The driver's being extricated, and they've already reported it's possible heroin overdose.
The SUV on its side, the hazard lights still flashing.
That's the car back there. Traveled probably about 200 feet with 4 confirmed rollovers.
It struck the guardrail before it rolled over.
See where they cut the windshield out to get him out.
Deputies say the driver was pinned inside, still unconscious from the heroin overdose.
As of right now, he's had 3 doses of Narcan, still not really coming to yet.
Is that a rock or is that caplets? It looks like we possibly found a nice-sized chunk of heroin on the individual that was involved in the crash.
The deputies say they found this baggie of the white stuff in the man's sock. It's a miracle he didn't hit another car. The outcome could have been drastically different.
It's just another Friday night, and unfortunately, this is what we get.
Major Darren Wilson tells me this part of Ohio has become a hub for illegal drugs.
How big of a problem is it in Dayton?
Per capita, I think ours is like second or third in the nation.
And where is the heroin coming from?
The heroin that we have seized, we have links back to Mexico.
Heroin apparently led to this life or death call into the dispatch center.
He's OTing, we need an ambulance.
Another overdose.
And he's barely breathing, his pulse is real faint.
And this one is bad.
We were actually the first ones to arrive on this scene.
Deputy Chris Kidwell knows the boy's stepfather. He's been here before.
Is it your son again?
Yes, it's come to visit his daughter, and then, you know.
Let's get in there and make sure he's all right.
That yellow kit he's carrying is a portable defibrillator used in case the victim's heart stops.
There was a faint pulse, and he was clearly distraught. Hopefully we can get more information. And they're coming right here, and this looks serious. Yep, here comes the ambulance. All you can hope is that the person is alive. With the deputies that are already inside, there's probably about 6 or 7 first responders now at the scene.
The young man is unconscious, unresponsive.
That's the individual who overdosed. He's alive, so that's obviously a positive thing.
Miraculously, the young man, carrying an IV bag, is able to walk to the ambulance.
He came to without the use of Narcan, which is not common. He said he was extremely scared. His dad is extremely fearful of his life, obviously. This is the box.
So this is evidence.
This is the stuff that was in there. He's got a digital scale, along with a syringe and a spoon to cook the heroin up. I'm not going to criminally charge him at this time. He wasn't in possession of the paraphernalia. It was in another room from where he was located.
I looked over and noticed that he was non-responsive, gurgling, and realized that he had done something he shouldn't have done. So at the time, I checked his pulse, took his vitals. Okay.
Were you able to determine that he had overdosed?
Yeah, it was something I'm familiar with, being an addict myself.
When you came out of the house, when we first responded, you were scared.
Well, yeah, I was scared for him because when I had checked his pulse, it was probably, I was getting 1 beat about every 30 seconds.
But while one man gets a new lease on life, death comes to visit another.
My dad's dead in his house.
What makes you think he has passed?
Because he shot himself.
So the call came in from the 911 dispatch center that a son went to go check on his father and found his father dead.
The deputies rush to the house.
If there is a deceased person in there, they're going to have to have an investigation to determine if there was, in fact, a suicide or if there was foul play involved.
That's the dead man's son talking to investigators inside the house.
I can't even imagine the grief he'd be going through. Walking in to check up on his dad and instead finding his dad dead, possibly with a self-inflicted wound.
It was a shooting.
Did it confirm what came
Yeah, I
over
mean,
to
everything
dispatch?
looks right on the nothing looks disturbed or out of place.
Did you see the body yourself?
Yes. Yeah.
And you're basically the first person that he's talking to since making this horrific discovery.
Absolutely. Probably one of the worst days of his life.
Do these types of incidents take an emotional toll on you?
I would say they do, absolutely.
Next, emotions overcome the 911 dispatchers.
It always stays in your mind.
How they cope in the face of so much evil.